Hello everyone, I'm Taku. I enjoy using my imagination and then talking to the deceased. Just wondering if, for example, Jean Piaget was still alive, what would he say about PTG? Whenever we talk about PTG, we assume people feel distressed when their core beliefs are shaken by experiencing a traumatic life event, because it could create cognitive dissonance. It then is likely to trigger rumination on why such things happened, how they happened, and if core beliefs we had before are still valid. In this way, PTG and cognitive processing are inseparable, at least in most of the PTG theoretical models that have been proposed so far. This cognitive processing can lead us to either assimilation or accommodation, which were originated by Jean Piaget to describe cognitive development among children. In assimilation, we incorporate new information into existing schemas without fundamentally changing our prior knowledge. We just extend our prior knowledge. This is how children learn that their own pet is part of a larger single category such as dogs. Assimilation can also be overextended, which is what happens when children call all four-legged animals dogs until they learn how to differentiate various types of animals. It is typically through interacting with others that we recognize the limitations of our prior beliefs and can adjust our schemas appropriately. This realignment of our schemas allows us to experience accommodation. We accommodate new information by determining where our previous beliefs were incorrect or inadequate. These radical shifts require both energy and social cognitive engagement, whereas over-application can lead to false beliefs. Accommodation has been seen as overall desirable. Today, researchers have used this framework to further understand the cognitive changes in adults who have experienced trauma. For example, according to Dr. Stephen Joseph and P. Alex Linley, there are 3 possible cognitive paths to reconcile information in a post-traumatic reality: assimilation, negative accommodation, positive accommodation. Assimilation requires the incorporation of new trauma-related information into pre-existing schemas. For instance, a person may fundamentally believe that the world is a fair place prior to experiencing trauma. Once the trauma has occurred, they may choose to maintain the original beliefs of fairness as a whole. This requires making extraneous adjustments in order to maintain their core beliefs in the face of conflicting evidence. Accommodation is the destruction of prior beliefs and the construction of a new belief system. So it requires people to change their world belief that is originally theorized by Dr. Janoff Bowman. Drs. Joseph and Linley then further broke it down to negative accommodation and positive accommodation, and proposed that positive accommodation is parallel to growth. These concepts are useful to further understand PTG processes, but there is still much more research to be done on these topics. For example, Drs. Joseph and Linley suggested that if a person holds on to pre-trauma beliefs using assimilation, his or her assumptive world is likely to be fragile and vulnerable to future trauma. But I wonder if assimilation can be a result of resiliency or even a supportive environment, because resilient individuals may have ample resources that they may not even see any need to go through radical changes. In addition, it doesn't seem too easy to clearly distinguish positive accommodations from negative accommodations. Plus, all of these ideas require PTG to be heavily oriented in social cognitive factors. And I wonder if it would be possible to experience PTG without relying on social cognitive factors. So still lots of questions. Well, if you have an answer, leave the comments or let me know. Thank you for watching. I will see you soon.